Ugh. No. Ew, motherfucker. No thanks. This week on No Accounting for Taste, we are talking about negativity. And we have a very special guest, somebody born and birthed in the most negative place on earth, New England. Isaac Fitzgerald is with us, and we'll be right back after your favorite theme song.
Pal, you're good with words. You know that, man?
I think the gym is dumb.
Did Rachel walk in the room? Of course I've eaten a Baconator.
Man, if you ain't doing CrossFit, you can get crossbuff.
You're right. A long burger's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
That's your sitcom right there as a Mr. Fix-It-All who just can't fix his heart.
We will not be defending Atlantic City.
No accounting for taste. If it's something that somebody loves, let's try and celebrate it instead of shitting on it. Hi, everybody. It's live. I'm not used to being live in person.
I know. It's
hey, but it's so good to see both your faces.
Isaac Fitzgerald.
Yeah. New York Times bestseller. Probably the last time we get one of those guys in here.
First and last. So
I appreciate
thanks for being that.
Yeah, my pleasure. Probably first and last time I'm on that list, too, so I'm just going to take that.
See? Now that's a pretty negative attitude.
Oh, I see what you did there.
See? It's all good. This is what's fun is we're all inherent. Well, you're not. We're inherently negative.
Yeah.
You're not. And that's why you're our guest when we talk about negativity today.
Trying to learn about it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get you there.
Yeah.
But you wrote a book called Dirtbag Massachusetts, which was
the title is itself
surprisingly positive given what the content is.
Quite actually, yeah.
Yeah. So you came out of that. You had a rough childhood. I didn't. Mine was fine. And I'm the pissiest one of all of us.
Kyle's not the type to complain about his childhood. It was a different kind of rough.
Mine was like pretty fine. I've read your book. I've just heard enough stories out of you where like, yikes.
Yeah, that's the thing about like a rough childhood, though. You're like, sometimes you don't know that your trauma is, or you know that it's trauma, but you don't actually ever like, you're like, fucking shit. Everyone has shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
and then you find yourself playing comparison games.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, listen, at least I don't have it this bad. This is a true. Like, I remember.
I do this, yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I would like see stories about like child soldiers in war zones, and I'd be like, well, I'm not doing that. So that, maybe things aren't that bad. And it's not a great. And that's
not a good way to like devalue what's happening to
right,
you.
exactly.
Yeah.
And in a way, that's like me trying to like wear positivity in like this great way, but actually, it's not very good for you.
Yeah.
Well, we're jumping ahead to good and bad of negativity.
I feel like it'd be a short episode this week.
Maybe that's a good thing about negativity, that there always will be child soldiers, which is inherently negative.
Yes.
But for those of us that aren't child soldiers, it's a positive.
Oh, nobody's following you on that one.
You're not?
I get where he's coming from, but yeah.
If the average is here and you're below it, it's sad. But what if like, it's just a lot of there's child soldiers, and I'm not that.
That's the math I was doing at the age of 8.
Okay, yeah.
Man.
You need a negative low. You need a terrible low point, and then to compare yourself.
Yeah.
And if it's better than that,
that's
what that negative thing in the world is good for us. Sorry for the child. They're not listening to this.
My dad would say this thing. I'd be like, like 10, I'd be like, I want this. And he'd be like, yeah, well, people in hell want ice water. And, like, that's also, like, it's the same kind of, like, reasoning.
It's also a little bit like, but people in hell got sent to hell. I mean, it's kind of a punishment.
And then we went to mass.
Yeah.
I'm just a kid that wants a life-nurturing beverage.
I just wanted a thing. I didn't commit
I just want to go hang out with Brian.
Yeah.
And people in hell want ice water. I want your mother to look at me like she used to.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why did I look?
I came from is there a speaker back here, Mike?
We're not. Normally we're wearing headphones, and the fart sound effect is we've abused it.
Tony's abused it. We've absorbed. We've amused it.
I really did like that you looked though.
I was like,
you thought there was a.
This isn't a big room.
Yeah,
it's not hard to realize.
No.
All right, I feel I don't like that I'm negative, and so it's going to be hard to defend it because I think it consumes me, especially here in New York City where I've been for 4 days, 5 days, and
you've had fun.
I'll have fun.
Yeah,
but I'm also miserable.
Okay, let's do it this way. before we get into you trashing this place that's, kind of the capital of the world. Has nothing to offer. Yeah. Let's get back to Beaverton, Oregon, where Nike is.
I didn't say it had nothing to offer. I just said I don't think I want any of the things it has to offer.
Anyways, we're gonna do it this way.
All right, okay.
If I gotta steer this thing away from the rocks, I'm gonna do it this way.
No, why? It's negative.
When is being negative taking you out of a circumstance in your life that it actually helped you? Like, and negative meaning like
STD
skeptical.
That was the dumbest joke. It was gonna happen. Let's get it out of the way. That was the dumbest joke we're gonna get out of.
But like, when is like being like maybe like leaning towards skeptical, using using them as synonyms.
Yeah.
When is like being like, no thanks. That seems like it could be fun, but that.
And putting it that way, that is like a great like.
That's how I was trying to think about this week. Is like how negativity has helped me be like
stay out of some situations.
Not get injured or murdered or whatever. Yeah. Or arrested. Yeah.
There's some people that have lived, we would call it a sheltered or a very safe life, and they feel comfortable that way.
Yeah.
And it's because of their negative outward view of the world. Like, well, everything's scary, everything's dangerous, everybody's trying to scam you. So
that's where agoraphobia makes sense to me a little bit. Yeah. Truly, yeah. Because like I'm like, I get it, man. I get bummed out. You might you don't have to go outside. You found a way to like sustain yourself in here.
Yeah. Just
if you're happy that way. I mean, I know people in my life that they're just scared of the outside.
Yeah, that
world.
maybe
And so, as long as you're happy with that, instead of always trying to look over the fence,
just to
like
see.
try to like, well, what? That
I
looks
would like
fun.
to be outside.
That looks like fun.
You're not happy if you're lonely.
Then that's then that's affecting you.
Yeah.
I've got like this isn't that same like I don't know about that, but I do have an interesting story about negativity and positivity, which is that.
And by the way, stretch it out because we
got it, baby. You ready? Yeah. All right.
Even your water bottle has a smiley face.
Books are magic, Brooklyn, New York.
There's just like, listen, I'm a pretty positive guy.
I know.
I'm a pretty positive guy.
Coffee, no lid.
No, and books are magic. Here's the thing. Middle school, there's the science fair. I'm sure we're all familiar. And so I had a thing, not based off my childhood at all. No, absolutely, it certainly was I was like, I'm going to do a thing where I felt like I was around so many negative adults. They always were just talking about how stuff sucked and how life sucked and the bills sucked. And so I was like, I hate it. I hate that feeling. I'm going to scientifically prove with these new science skills that I've just learned in 7th grade that positivity is better than negativity. And the way I was going to test that was I got a bunch of puzzles and like stuff from the school, like those like you're trying to pull two rings apart, like all these and I just put them out.
It sounds like you went to a magic shop.
It was a good. That's basically what they had in it, like Bunsen burners. No, but like a couple of puzzles that might take a couple times.
3-card Monty.
Budget was kind of low.
Like some paper flowers that pop out of it. So I gave them to my friends, and I would time them. And with certain friends, I'd be like, fuck you, you suck, you can't do puzzles, you wouldn't know your way out of this ring if you tried. And like, with time, and then other friends, I'd be like, you're doing a great job, you're killing it. And the people that did a great job, like that I gave that positivity to, completed the puzzles faster. And that won me the science fair 7th grade. At which point they were like, we're going to send you to state. Again, tough school system, like bad county. Let's just be clear about that. They're going to send you, which is when I panicked because I had actually falsified all the results. And I was convinced they were going to be on to me. The results came in.
You're going to 7th grade science jail.
You know why I'm at state? Because you felt better about my study. So you did prove. You did prove.
In a weird way, yeah. Maybe it's a little bit of it. Maybe it wasn't scientific, but it did.
You made adults feel like, positivity is good. And then that's like the experiment within the experiment.
But I like that you're on this top level shit. But I passed. I said I couldn't do it. And because I was like having this moralistic, but I really do think there's something in there where I feel that positivity is so important that I was literally in the 7th grade lying to try to say that it was good. So I'm like very adverse to negativity. So I'm learning the ways now as an adult the negativity that you're talking about. This kind of like, hang on, let's think about this. Maybe this isn't great.
At least more towards skepticism than
can help me
negativity,
out.
really. But
Yeah.
like, skepticism is like a valuable.
It's
Can be a valuable survival skill.
self-preservation.
Yeah.
I also know people that are just immediately, and I was one of those people for a long time, just cynical. Like, if I didn't understand something, or I guess like I learned now it's projection. Like, if I didn't understand something or didn't think I was going to be part of the group anyway, I automatically, well, that sucks. That sucks over there.
Yeah.
That sucks
That's fucking
over there.
stupid. Kyle's out.
And it's like, you can only point in a circle calling things shitty so much before it comes back to yourself. You're like, maybe I'm the shitty one. Turns out all these people are having having
They're
fun.
all hanging out without me. It's crazy.
That's something my dad used to say. If you wake up in the morning, you meet one asshole, you met one asshole. If you go throughout the whole day, you meet nothing but assholes, you're probably the asshole.
Yeah, and I was
That's
I did
thoughtful.
not. Yeah, and I did not register that right away. It was just cynical, contrarian. Always thought I was right, and I fight against that still to this day. Where I'm just like, I have a
It's
hard
hard
time.
not like
Yeah.
you are wired to like. You're wired towards trying to be positive, like
to a sick degree.
ether.
To a sick degree,
and-
I go to therapy for it.
And you, like are you wired as a skeptic? You think at the
Yeah, and I don't. I really, but I know that, and I really don't like that about myself.
yeah, but like I mean, like that's different than like never trying to address it too, like or never recognizing it. It's positive that you see you are wired that way.
Yeah.
You know,
But
like,
and you
it's
try to
always
work around it.
Yeah, it's always a day later. I'm like, well, that was a real shit attitude yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
That got you nothing. What are you going to do today? Or you're just going to be, well, my shit attitude was shitty. I'm shit. Well, we wasted 2 days. Good job, dude.
Here we are. Oh, it's hump day. Might as well not even get out of bed.
I don't get it.
Thursday, I gotta travel. Dayton really needs my comedy at this mall.
I don't
Double
need it.
Friday. Yeesh.
I don't get to take a weekend away from myself.
Not to be the positivity scientist here that I've somehow set myself up as, but I think what you're discussing is just a hangover. Where you're like, I just feel
man.
bad the next
really
day.
does, well, yeah.
I call it using up all your good time chips. So there's
Yeah.
nothing but bad time chips in your head the next day. It's like going to a camp.
Yeah, I mean, I will. That is, if I take a break and everything, it is like, well, I'm waking up early because I slept well. And if I slept well, I got more of the day, and I feel better. And if
And
I
you get
feel
to be
better
more productive
physically,
or whatever. Yeah.
Oh well, here we are, coffee and water after another 2 a.m. night.
It's 1:30. I woke up after lunch.
I did. I
Yeah.
laid in bed, scared to go outside.
Yeah, I think there's a I kind of like to give a story about skepticism where it could have been used valuably and it wasn't. Like, there's a woman in my hometown called Crazy Agnes. She's like probably dead now, but she was like, it was like she had literally hundreds of homemade crucifixes all over her yard and front out. Like she was out to lunch, and it was a thing for kids to like toilet paper her house and like egg it or whatever. And we were like, we're gonna go do it, you know, like. And she would sit on this perch she'd built on her fence because it was on the back of her backyard bordered a busy road. And she had this perch she built, like she would like scream at cars and stuff as they drove by and like yell at them and point at them with a stick. And I'm like, well, we'll go egg Crazy Agnes. And then my buddy Adam was like, yeah, let's egg her. So like it turned into like quickly it turned from like playful high school mischief into like assault on the elderly.
Yeah.
With chicken products.
yeah. And here's the thing. It becomes
Their
such
bones are about as brittle as eggshells as it is. It is.
Jesus.
it becomes such a problem, people like fucking with her, that the Fort Worth Police Department put an undercover cop car in front of her house. And you know what would have stopped it? Just a regular cop car being in front of her house. You know, like, just an old cruiser. Yeah, like who knows? You know.
Pulling entrapment on 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this undercover.
But they pulled up. They pulled us. There were 4 of us. They pulled us over, and everybody was like, you know, like, and they had like they flipped on the lights, and right before they like were about to pull us out of the car, I was like, they didn't see shit. Everybody shut your fucking mouths.
Yeah.
And I was like, they don't. It's fucking 1 a.m. in the morning. There's no way they saw this. And then they pulled me out first. They were like, "What'd you do tonight?" I was like, "We had Crazy Agnes." Oh my god, I'm so sorry. She died May 2021. COVID?
No, wait, that's real.
What? How did you know her?
He googled the town and
I googled Crazy Agnes Fort Worth and it came right up.
Oh,
Wait, was the reason eggs?
Doesn't
She
say
was allergic. Yeah.
she died peacefully. And then it said that she was loved by
she
her
did not live
generosity
peacefully.
and kindness.
What?
It says that the neighborhood will remember her for her kindness and generosity. That's what it says on her.
And
If you can just Google Crazy Agnes in a major metropolitan area and you found her, she was not kind. If
Big negativity.
you did not find her by a first and last name, like something that would be logged into, the government records. Crazy Agnes. Oh yeah, we know her. She's on Google.
I got to AG and it came up and it auto-populated Agnes Fort Worth. I didn't even finich the whole search.
Sounds to me like maybe she was famous.
Yeah.
Maybe-
She's like local treasure for sure.
You egged a legend in front of all them Jesuses.
Nathan Lane is next. But cops pull us over.
Something tells me Nathan Lane wouldn't last too long
buddy
in
Mike
Fort Worth.
My buddy Mike was like, before we did this, he was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And we were like, don't be a we just egged him into it. And then the cops call our parents, and
said
Mike's
it on
dad
purpose.
walks up and he goes, "You fucking got in trouble for this last week." and he was like, so he was skeptical about doing it again. And then my mom was a night nurse, so no one was home, and so I rode home. His parents lived down the street with him. And his dad was just unloading on him in the car, like just fucking screaming at him. He's like, "You're fucking stupid. You're never going to college." And blah. And I was just sitting there the whole time. And then finally Mike just goes, "Fuck you!" and like pushed back. And his dad shut up in front. And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, his negativity kind of weirdly diffused the moment of like how hot his dad was. Because it is like still high school dumb mischief. Nobody got killed.
Yeah.
But his dad was like
Reading him the
fucking
right.
reaming him. Yeah.
Was Mike
And
at school the next day?
Mike called me 2 days later and he goes, "My parents told me to pack my bags. I don't know where I'm going." They sent him to a fundamentalist Southern Baptist church.
No!
Yeah, because it was summer. Yeah. He goes, they found one. And then my mom kind of did the same thing, but to a different one. Because like my folks had already gotten divorced, so we weren't going to like a Catholic mass anymore. She was like, "Go hang out with fucking these ones," Like, yeah.
bad
And then he came back. He's still the worst person I've ever met. But he was the first person I ever saw yell back at their parents, which is a kind of eye-opening.
That's a good. No, when you're a kid, you see that you're like, you can do that.
Yeah. And then
you try it, and you're like,
some
"No,
of
you
us can't.
can't.
Yeah,
You absolutely cannot do
You're
that."
like, his parents lack spines.
Yeah.
How these two human jellyfish meet in the first place?
That's a different household. Another quick negativity.
Yeah.
Story. So my grandparents had a farm, and they had a bunch of pumpkins. And when I was a kid, we lived in the
pumpkin
city,
farm?
and we grabbed all the pumpkins and we put them in the back of the car. I was like very young, but my father said this recently to me. By the way, he looked at me and he was just like, "Just for the record, you were always like this." Like it's not like a little like I'm a ray of sunshine. Like I used to like be like zing kisses in the morning when I was a baby.
Oh,
like,
you were just always.
I was just amped 24/7, just moving through the world, trusting, loving. And so I throw these pumpkins in the back of this car. We drive them to the city. I put them on our front stoop, and I start selling them probably for like $1 a piece or something. And these kids came up with a wagon, and they're like, "Here's $2 for 2 pumpkins." And I said, "Great." And they said, "We actually want to buy all your pumpkins." And I was like, "Great." And they're like, "We got to go get the money. Do you mind if we just save us the trip, pack the pumpkins up now?" And I said, "Great." And that is a great point where if I'd been like a little, but no. And my parents, it's a lovely little story because they're like, and you sat on that front stoop waiting for those guys the whole day. You just wait. You were like, no, they're coming back with my money because the world will surely not let these people just steal my pumpkins.
Also,
Yeah, it's hard.
But that's
that's so a little negative. This is what I'm saying. Like I see you're looking for a little positivity in my life. I need to learn how, because I will just walk up to the Grim Reaper and be like, "Hey, man, what's going on?"
It's a real shake hands with the devil kind of attitude.
Isn't it a better life to live going through like maybe it's naivety, like you learn your lessons from that, but still going through like positive and willing to be like make some mistakes versus negative, and then I've never put myself in harm's way. Like I feel this is a tough one to defend because I feel like on your deathbed, you're like, Well, I was fully open my whole life, heart, arms open. It burned me a couple times, but I don't think anybody would I wish I would have
like, I'm dying years later, like here. It's not like...
Yeah, I wish I would have really just not...
done any of it?
It's like that, better to have loved and lost than loved at all kind of thing. But I think that's like naivety versus skepticism, whereas like true negativity is just... I guess it's just depression. I think it's depression.
Yeah, I can't really recall a time where like just being outright like no fucking way has it ever been like served me well. Like like, except gambling. When I'm like there's no fucking way this guy's going to win this fight. Like I guess that's positive for me. Like I guess I'm thinking about it in a like being doubtful of someone else. I'm betting against them, so I guess that's negative. Yeah, so I guess like it served me well in that way on things.
This is a tough one to like stick up for. It's just kind of like why it's fun.
It's why
I preserve like
Kyle and I just be having a staring contest if you weren't here.
No, but here's the thing. One, negativity can be funny. You can speak truth to power with negativity. One of my favorite people on the entire planet was this really old woman. My friend Josh, his mom was a nurse. She lived with the old people. So this old woman who was just in her house, she was definitely dying. And in our town, she got a golden cane. This is in the book. I wrote about this in the book. Yeah. She got a golden cane, and this woman smoked. She just ripped butts and drank all day. She was
already going down.
She was but she was like 106. Like how like. Much happier, joyful people, and like it's like the bitterness fueled her so that she would just like outlive all her enemies or something. Like she just was bitter, but she was still cuttingly funny. So one that like I was like, oh, the golden cane, oh, you're gonna live, and she was just like, that's just a trophy that means I'm next. And just fucking, I lost it. It was like it's a beautiful, and that's pure negativity
and a very well crafted line. Yeah.
Sarcasm stems from negativity, and therefore, positive attribute. It's like
here I am positively defending negativity. Sorry,
well, that's it. Like, okay, negative, just being like, I don't like that. Like, that's lame. But if you're funny about it, like, it is a better kind of funny than being like, I love this. Here's my silly joke about a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I gravitate sort of like, look at this shit over here.
Yeah, that's right.
Those people are more fun to me.
I agree.
I don't want to be them. I don't want to be in that brain. That doesn't seem fun.
No.
But the outlets, I like the outputs pretty good time.
I'll say this too. Negativity can serve as a strong motivator. Like, like that's like there's a value in it there too, because like, poverty is negative.
Yeah, that's right.
But you never meet people who work harder than poor people. So like,
child soldiers again. Child soldiers.
Kyle, lose the child soldiers. Goddamn it.
Pick another sad thing. Pick another negative thing in the world that motivates you to not be that negative thing. The presence of negativity forces you to not want to
dig
be
in
that.
a little bit. Yeah.
So
I mean, like,
pick anything else other than child soldiers because you're positive and it makes you sad. Not me.
No,
you're like, I'm a realist. I see the world.
I'm too old to be a regular soldier at this point. Actually, that's a positive outlook.
We lost the war long ago with you.
Yeah,
I would say
I would have been a bad soldier. That's good.
Negative, like, this might be stretching it out a little bit. My mom was Irish, from Ireland. Irish people work as hard as anybody, and they make great art sometimes. So, like, sometimes you have to go into the depth of something, and so you can, like, there's positive things result from negativity. Like,
the situation's negative.
Yeah, but, like, you can find something creative.
So to have the attitude of being positive when everything's shit around you.
Or at least malleable. Like, to be, like, if everything is shit, be like, I need to, like, I don't want this. Like, how do I take what I have with the situation I'm in and, like, make it adaptable is...
Yeah, you can't wallow in it.
Yeah. So, like, it can make you malleable, and it can kind of thicken your skin, too. Like, what you need.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be, like, come off as old, like, these kids these days. But sometimes I'm like, it's just not going to work this way for you, man. Like... I don't like. I just like sometimes they're like, why can't we just do it that way? And I'm like, I don't know. Did no generation before you ever ask that question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the most negative joke that you have?
Ooh, fuck. Do you know you said it like you know yours already.
I was like most of them.
Yeah, I mean, my ex.
But those are the funny
my
ones.
ex pretty negative.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So like I'll try to purposely write comedy in a way that like, oh, how can I spin being a bummer? Like I still need people to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Like your book was like, there's some rough stories in that book, but they all like spun into a lesson or something about how you grew from what was happening. Yeah.
Well, even like my favorite part of your book, my favorite line in the book is when you're sitting down having a drink with your dad.
Oh Jesus.
And you asked if like, oh, we'll cut this if you don't. It's in the book, so I guess it's fine.
You're absolutely fine.
When
You're
you're
absolutely
talking about your dad's affair, and you go, do you talk to her anymore? And you go, not in years, but I do hope she comes to the funeral.
It's a great line. It's a great line.
Like I was like, yeah, man, to the grave. Yeah. And it's like came from a negative situation.
100%. But and like wryness, everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
But like and that's what comedy is, right? Like looking at the world in a real way. And that does stem from negativity.
And that was poetry.
Exactly. And I would never have said that.
Yeah.
But like him saying it filled me with joy.
Yeah.
Which wasn't supposed to be the reaction. Like most reaction that would be, I can't believe my dad said that. I was just like, that was fucking great, man.
Yeah.
That was heartfelt and hilarious and a little sad, and I loved it all.
But perfect with a drink too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like you need to have those.
Yeah. But like if I was, left to my own devices, I'd probably still 40 years old be trying to sell pumpkins to people down here in New York City. You know, like you need a little bit of a
You'd be the lady
protective
with all
layer.
the crucifixes, just a different version.
Some people call this podcast selling pumpkins.
Selling pumpkins.
I wasn't.
Wait, but what is your most negative joke?
I had a joke that I was
Yeah.
trying to get working about how dismal it is to be a pumpkin farmer. It's not nearly my most negative joke, but I just thought it was really funny about how like of all the farmers that make things like, well, I make onions and they can go into stews and sandwiches. Mirepoix. It's kind of a fundamental ingredient. Oh, I grow corn. Corn's the backbone of everything. I grow cherries or strawberries. What a treat. And like the pumpkin farmers are just like, yeah, just, October's a big month. And then the kids just throw them at garage doors the first week in November, and that's it's my year. Just drive around
Save
town.
about 20% of them for the last Thursday of the month.
Yeah. I got one guy puts them in a curry, but otherwise they're just smashed in driveways November 1st, and I'm like, why do I keep doing this?
By December, I'm turning soil.
I don't know how to get out of it, man. I don't know. It's pretty sad that this is what keeps happening.
They take my vegetable and they remove the insides.
Yeah. They gut it.
Cut holes in it like it has a face.
They gut it like a fish. Yeah, stab at
and
it.
they put a light in the middle of it to make it look like there's something still living in it.
I keep reminding them, you can eat these. Nobody cares.
This man's dream is cucumbers.
Yeah.
To grow cucumbers.
I mean, it's good like that. Then
Billy
it's a
Corrigan.
pickle.
People put it in a drink.
Yeah, it's all kinds of things.
That guy thinks he's depressed. All right. This is No Accounting for Taste. I'm pretty sure we hit the first block.
Yeah.
We're just riffing.
We're blending
It's a
into
fun
it.
episode this week. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor, ExpressVPN. Are they still with us?
I don't know.
Manscaped. Casper mattresses. Who cares?
We never hit them.
We'll be right back if you fucking dare to come back, you negative little shits.
Oh,
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, gotta get them back somehow.
I liked it. And we're back.
That was negative and it worked.
Catch that one? Positive for me. I feel great now. I'm not that loose. I got a tight little kisser down there.
All right.
Oh.
What's wrong? You want to hear me talk about my brown lips?
You dirt spider.
Your old rope cutter.
South mouth.
Dirt spider was good.
Dirt
I like Dirt
spiders.
Spider.
Oh, you're the author.
All right.
You're the one that works with words.
See, again, I'm like positive.
See?
Hey, we all do.
We all do.
Kyle and I's body, like I'm crossing my arms. Kyle's looking down. You're making direct eye contact with everyone.
Like, hey guys.
Do you deflect compliments?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, well, we all like.
Yeah, 100%.
I wonder if that's like.
I'm sure it's all tied to the
like
same
negativity.
terrible.
Somebody's like, that looks nice, and you're like, it sucks. Like you're like,
I'm trying to get better at that.
Just
Like taking
taking a
compliments.
compliment. Yeah,
like,
me too.
Like,
I'm working on it.
Like I don't like it. Some people are very good at taking them. Like in a way of like, I don't know how to do it because it's negative. Like if someone's like, you look good today, and I'm like, what, you know.
Yeah. You go into that.
And then you go into like, thanks, I appreciate it, but I need you to know that I don't feel that way.
I want you to know I hate myself.
That's like wild too. Like
your default setting is to be like, I will never look at myself the way I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Or I do believe you, but can't handle it, and I don't trust that.
Yeah.
Versus, oh, thanks.
Yeah. I thank you so much. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah,
With like
there's ways to navigate these things that. Yeah, cynicism and low self-esteem. What a wonderful mix in a person.
that's been like a thing in like in relationships when like I've like been like feeling unattractive and I don't want to sleep with my partner.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I think you're incredibly handsome. I was like, well, what do you know? You're with me. And I know and that's like one of those things that like all they're trying to do is like make you feel good and like maybe satisfy a carnal itch in themselves. But like
it's that mix of like you want someone to be honest, but not too honest.
Yeah.
Like don't be mean, but phrase it. Like there's I mean, got 9 years in with the missus. Like there's I'll have like, what about these? It's like give me another option with what you want to wear.
Nice.
Okay, this one or this one. I actually like this one. Because she's not saying the one was bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just now between the two of them, here's a better choice. It's a good, positive workaround.
I like
to,
that.
like, instead of just being like, that's ugly. It's like, well, what else?
Yeah.
What else would you wear? Well, these shoes remind me. Like, okay, there's ways to do it.
Yeah, that's like forming negativity, like shaping.
I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know how to give compliments because I think they sound insincere. So I get in trouble. I'm like, man. You look hot. And I feel like a creep saying it. She's like, well, that's believable. I'm like, I feel like a fucking pervert.
You got to do it with some backbone.
Yeah, I know. And I don't.
I mean, I'm not saying.
And I've never been the guy to be like, fucking yeah. Like, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, coming out like.
It really didn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't sound correct coming out of my mouth. And then it sounds insincere.
If you stutter on it a little.
Yeah,
if you
and then
stumble
it's
a little
a
bit.
fucking mess. So I just avoid it entirely.
I like that giving
Maybe
you a
not.
compliment.
Maybe this is where the negativity goes bad. Like avoiding it entirely to be like.
Yeah.
So you got to like, maybe you really got to be like, you look great today. And then just leave the room.
The language that like I appreciate, I got to learn how to return it
Yeah.
in an organic manner.
Yeah.
We're growing. Today,
Wow, that
guys.
was beautiful.
Yeah, we're growing.
That said, I love that like choosing shorts for you is like basically diffusing a bomb.
Yeah.
Red or green, red or green.
Yeah.
What do? You shoot the hostage. I'm me.
Horizontal stripes. All right, life raft. What are you doing? Pick some up.
Is this the Miracle on the Hudson?
Or she'll just buy me outfits that I'm like, what am I going to do in this?
Well, hey,
a lot of cabana shorts.
Really?
Like, trying to get me laid by dudes? What are these? Just tell me. Tell me what's going on.
Here's one we haven't talked about.
They're
The
pretty
relief
fun,
from when you're thinking negatively. Like, maybe burrowing so deep down, like, this is going to be fucking brutal. This sucks. And then you get to something and like, that was actually so much more fun or so much more enjoyable because I actually liked it. Like
setting the bar low
can be a good way. Yeah,
that's
Again.
my whole approach to life.
Child soldiers.
Oh, God damn it.
that's true.
Is there a lower bar than child soldiers?
Kyle, not Kyle, Mike, what do you think? Is there a lower bar than child soldiers?
Like if you're having a rough day,
If you just look up,
at least I'm not a child soldier.
I guess baby soldiers. I don't know, toddler
They
soldiers.
can't hold. They need to
He don't
have a
know
weapon.
anything.
Those are just called bombs. That's
Gotta be the lowest.
You just push the stroller out into the mix.
you know what I?
See? Okay.
One of the things I would do.
Remember
is,
that thing about negativity being funny?
Well, that was going to be my question for you guys. Like, do you find, because negativity does turn to good comedy, But is that maybe something you find a hard
It
time
can.
turning off?
If somebody's good enough to get it done, it can.
Right.
It can
Yeah.
be exhausting otherwise.
Yeah.
If somebody's I'm not a
Not
fan.
everybody's like me and Kyle.
Well, I'm not a fan of like the adult Daria attitude.
No, because I think it's
Like over everything all the time.
yeah. Well, that is just negative, and it's like fun pun in your black rim glasses.
Oh, we're
like,
doing,
it's
we're
not-
doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, we're eating food. Oh, we're walking. Oh, but the option is to drive a car. Like I can't keep up with that.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, everything is just dripping with just sardonic. Just oh, really?
It's just child soldiers all the way down.
Just child soldiers with bloody bayonets.
All right, sorry. I don't know.
Child soldiers,
I wanted to play-
with
I wanted-
Emily backpacks and
Yeah.
Daria glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think what you're like, okay, it's a plan for the worst, hope for the best. So you could take this negativity and spin it on I might be pleasantly surprised. I don't have a good outlook for this.
Yeah.
And I could either entertain that, like, well, this is going to suck because I think it's going to suck, so I'm not even going to do it. Or you can acknowledge this is probably going to suck.
Some skepticism.
And if it does suck, well,
I knew
cool.
it. I'm not
I get to
disappointed.
Feel, I
Yeah.
get to feel correct, and that's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Or I'm wrong, but me being wrong means this is a fun thing we're doing.
Yeah.
And what a nice thing! What a nice
So
thing to be
that's
wrong about is a good time. I have a specific moment where it was like years ago. It was like a '90s dance party or something, and it was a mix because I was in my like late 30s, so and it was like kids that were like 22 going to this thing.
Yeah. Ironic.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I was there for that generation. And so I'm like, why does everything have to have a theme? Why can't it just be like a party? Why do I have to wear a stupid outfit and all this
why
stuff?
can't it be 22 again?
And then I was, but it's coming from a lot of that. But then I was walking away like, I'm not doing this dumb. There's like a line, and I'm like, I'm not doing this dumb shit. And as I'm walking away, I'm just like, looking back now, I was like, yeah, I'm better than this. I'm not going to do this. And then I don't remember what I did that night. But what I do remember is that my friends went to what looked like a very fun party.
Yeah.
And I didn't go because I thought it was stupid. But here's a room full of people having a great time. I learned.
Get three beers in you, and then a Weezer song plays, and you dance around a little bit. Yeah, like
I wouldn't dance at weddings because I still thought I needed to look cool when I was dancing.
The coolest people at the wedding are the ones on the dance floor.
Exactly.
Who's
And
more
I'm
fun than the
sad-
grandmother?
I'm sad it took me so long
Same. I wasted a lot of time with that stuff. Yeah.
Because all the weddings that happen when you're 20, it's a bunch of guys that are like, oh, I don't dance.
Yeah.
Like, way to go.
You know who's getting
Neither does he, but he's out there.
Yeah, and it's a lot more fun that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of it stems from like fear of looking stupid in those situations.
But then if you turn around from the dance floor and see the guys who are just sitting at a table without a date around them laughing at the people on the dance floor, that's who looks stupid.
yes. Very much.
And that was in the 20s when all the weddings were happening.
Yeah.
I was too cool to do that. Now, if there's a wedding, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get dressed up.
yeah.
I'm going to
It's
cut a
fun.
rug.
We had a blast at Carmel's wedding.
Heck, everybody did because finally everybody's mature enough, like
To get- we got-
mature enough to get wasted and look like a fucking idiot. Like
Yeah.
that's a weird
Yeah.
mix. But
Yeah.
I wish I knew that 20 years ago.
Going back to the like preparing yourself for something being so negative and then the positive coming. The Miracle on the Hudson. I think those guys were like, we're gonna die, and then they land and everybody lives, right?
Yep.
Those people all never felt better in their entire lives. It may have come at different times, but they all shared the exact same experience and living through that. I think,
No, you're real high after surviving an airplane crash.
yeah, like maybe not immediately, but there's a moment of euphoria where you have like, there has to be even like, I fucking lived. Like, I'm gonna call someone. Like maybe not all. It clearly didn't all happen at once. It wasn't in unison, but like I'm sure somebody was like, I'm gonna make it. Like as soon as they got out onto a raft, they're like, I'm gonna live.
Yeah.
And then like other people in the hospital, and then like years later for some people, but like the euphoria of like making it through something. I don't know if euphoria is the right word.
No, but yeah.
Well, close calls with tragedy.
Yeah, but it's like what
pretty negative.
feels better than the feeling of like almost hitting something with your car and then being like, whew, that was a close one.
But what's funnier then is being on that plane that landed and I'm not going to die. And one guy going, well, I guess we got to go to work on Monday now. That would be, and then that's the positivity of negativity is a guy knowing in that moment, I bet a wisecrack would lighten the mood a little bit.
They bought 24F's book and not mine. So that being said, much rather just land safely every time. As much time as I spend in the fucking air. I can't, but that's how I, post-traumatic growth is what it's called. Yeah, I knew that.
Post-traumatic growth.
Yeah.
That's like that every day's a gift from here on out attitude.
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a service that like mimic like that. Well, I guess haunted houses.
We're gonna. Yeah, that's one.
Haunted house scares you and you feel good, but it's the illusion that it's fake.
Yeah.
It's not like a true terror, but it is like jump scares.
Getting
like
a jolt.
We're gonna reinvent the game on that Michael Douglas movie.
Oh yeah,
where it's just gonna be about like
is that movie
fake
good?
Almost murdering people and then but now you love your life.
It's Sean Penn too, right?
I think I would spend a long
but you think
time.
about like how
I was young.
like 364 days a year, if somebody jumps out and scare you, you're like fuck you, and then one day you're like I'll pay $30 for this.
Yeah, that'd be a fun thing to do for. Like a patron, if we did a little tour and just did like 6 different massive haunted
I'll
houses.
just do them anyway.
No,
I
but we could do
haunted
it like
houses.
we'll talk about it later. But I got an idea.
yeah.
I'm from my town has the world's largest haunted house. Used to be a
was Agnes a part of that?
Crazy Agnes. Crazy Agnes. She's just in character all year.
a lot of trapdoors.
She fucking cared about her
If
craft.
she caught up with
just
you,
a theater community is posting all this stuff.
if she got caught up with you, she'd slip you a flyer like for $5 off or something like that. Scary, right? I know. Come on, stop by.
Come on down to the cutting edge.
Yeah, what's it called? What's the?
It's called it's called the Cutting Edge, and it used to be where they like would execute cattle or whatever. I don't like.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, because like it's
the Cutting Edge was the best name they can come up with for an old slaughterhouse.
I don't know if it's a good one, but it's just like it is the biggest. Like is what I'm saying. Like I don't know like how good the scares are, but it is fucking gantic. Like
Square footage of scares is
I like that. Okay,
let's do a haunted house tour.
I'll do that. But that's a great example. Like how many things do you sign up for to feel scared or to feel like threatened? And it's not necessarily negative. I know it's a little off subject.
Yeah, but we're reaching today.
But like
But we are reaching.
riffing.
We are. Some people can't even do that, and that's
trying.
positive.
Well, all right. Now to defend negativity just a bit, right? Like real pure. There is something about actually being in touch with your own emotions and your own feelings, and being able to say, "Hey, it's okay that this sucks."
you got to allow it sometimes.
You got
to not be in denial of it.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta accept like that's and this is something I've run into. This is what I'm working on in life because I literally am the that goddamn dog in the fire drinking a coffee. Like I'm like everything's great, it's fine, but like no, it's okay to just be like, hey, this sucks because that, like you said at the beginning, sometimes gets you out of bad situations or like can really motivate you.
Skepticism and negativity can serve as a motivator and a survival skill.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
Yeah, we all know the person like, no, it's fine. Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be okay. I'll be fine. Yeah, and you just know inside
then
of them is just demons.
Or also it's like
let him out.
the other
It's
thing is
okay.
like not being negative, like or realizing it's negative, like bearing every single cross. Like that person is fucking unbearable. Like I'll just do it myself, and then they complain about doing stuff. It's like fucking your lack of it being negative has made me feel negative. Like
Your inability to accept help.
has like exhausted me into a point of like you've taken this. You're drowning, and now you're putting your hands on top of my head.
Well, I think we've grown a lot today.
I think so too.
I think we've done well. We're going to take a little break. Now we're going to see what people wanted to call in about in regards to negativity.
Yeah,
This is where we take callers.
We'll be right back.
Can't wait.
We're about to jump in the litter box. And we're back. Meow meow. Here we go.
You know what's negative is the one hair that's hanging off your laptop that's driving me crazy. Could you take that off of there?
Well, Oh, right
Don't
there.
touch it. It's not yours. It's
fine.
See? That's too much positivity.
See, I'm a helpful
You
guy.
just wanted to help.
Love to help.
You
I got hair to
touched
spare,
a weird,
baby.
You touched a weird hair.
I'm pretty sure I know where it came from.
Are you? It was
I know
stuck-
where it didn't
was
come
stuck
from.
to a laptop. All right. Made up his
Positive joke, though. Let's get from the first caller. Let's push all this down.
Bottle it up.
Hey, y'all. I think negativity has a place in life. You have to have that balance. Overly positive people drive me insane. But
Sorry.
also we need to have negative people because they'll tell us the real deal. One of my favorite quotes is that positive people built the airplane, or optimists built the airplane, and pessimists built the parachute. Sorry I messed that up.
No, that was good.
That was great.
No, I like that.
That's the end of that call, right? Yeah. But no, that's like
Optimism built the airplane. Pessimism.
Built the parachutes.
Yeah.
I would argue that optimism still built the parachute.
Oh, yeah.
I think pessimism.
Nothing but good vibes on the Kinane Express.
Pessimism is taking the train. I think that's more what's going on with that. But it's still a good quote.
I get you get the sentiment of it at least.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pessimism built the airbag. Optimism built the car.
I like that one though. Like I get where you're just coming from. Going back, I did a polar plunge when I was in Europe earlier, and like in the Norwegian Sea.
Yeah.
And there was like, it was fucking awful. But like when you get out of it,
Yeah.
like the euphoria you feel from like taking yourself out of that situation is fucking insane.
That's another one from my dad. Why do I bang my head against the wall? Because it feels so good when I stop. Which is
That's why.
I just don't. I can't get.
you're not on board with this.
I had a buddy that like he burnt his leg on like a scooter motor, and he's like and then he just started pinching himself real hard. Look, the pain here takes away the pain there. I'm like, that's just two places that hurt now. Like, I didn't never saw logic in it, but if it's working, for
Some of
you-
us are closer to the cavemen that walk like this and not upright. Let's go to the next.
But I want to say I agree with what she says. There is place for negativity.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Next caller, please, Michael.
Listen, I just want to shout out negative people because I think they keep it the realist. I'm an East Coaster, so I kind of like am nurtured from the whole, look at it from the bad side of things, but also kind of have a laugh about it. And I did 4 years on the West Coast, and it just kind of was weird out there when I was like trying to be real with everybody about things, and they kind of just kept throwing this weird like toxic positivity thing at me. Look at the whole city's on fire, but you know what? We get sunlight in the morning. That's so great, isn't it? It feels like a bit of a lie. So negative people, they have a special place in my heart. They're the only people I can relate to after a pandemic because there's no way that someone's going to wake up in the morning, give me some positive, a positive outlook on life, and I'm going to be like, yeah, that's totally happening, Gene. Nah.
That got specific.
Yeah, it really did.
First off, fuck Gene from California.
Yeah, Gene from California sucks. I like this guy. I kind of get where it
he was
comes.
positive on negativity.
Yeah, like he's finding the value in what some people. Yeah.
But I want to argue with people that like negativity keeps it real. Is it?
This is you. You're a contrarian. You're not negative.
Wow.
You might be negative.
This just became therapy.
But you are also a contrarian.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm
that's
not.
also
Sorry, I was supposed to say no, I'm not. I think I didn't answer that wrong, which means I'm not. So suck it.
A manipulative contrarian.
I mean, I know I am too. Obviously,
I want that East Coast thing. I don't want an East
That's
Coast.
the basis of this podcast.
I don't want an East Coast doctor. I don't want to be like, it looks rough. How about a cigarette? I want a doctor that's gonna be like, you know what? I think we could beat this. I think there is sometimes when it's not just West Coast. I think it's just I have things I like to do in life, and I'm gonna go try and live well enough
through
to
a mix of Western medicine and some crystals. We might just fight this thing.
Listen, if the crystals make you feel better, hold your little.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Fuck your crystals. You should spend $20 for a pack of Marlboro Lights in this city instead. It's the same shit.
I'm not saying it's not, you negative Nancy.
You just said fuck your crystals.
I hate the crystals. I do. Well, that's another thing. But going to your doctor analogy, this is where I could see the negative with the doctor being positive. Hey, I don't think we can beat this. I think you're going to die in about 6 months. Mm-hmm. You want to spend that being dosed up in a hospital? Or do you want to go skydiving and do whatever it is? So, like, that's where a negative, like, outlook can be like, you're not going to make it. Like, where somebody being like, well, if we really, we're clinging onto a 1% chance here, but if you want to do 1%, like, you can't. Like, positivity can lead to delusion.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And, like, skepticism can lead to making use of what you have.
In this analogy, time to go jet ski.
Yeah.
Before you
which I've done with Kyle.
But
one of the best.
But it could also be the other way. Negativity could lead to delusion. Like that's how flexible a statement is. Negativity could lead to like, well, everything sucks.
What did I call him earlier? Can you remember the word I used? Because I think it was contrarian.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to poke holes in your flimsy ass theory. Yeah.
My flimsy ass theory.
Negativity could lead you like, well, everything sucks.
There's wind in this sail, and if you don't want to go to see...
Nobody's committing suicide because they're like, it's never going to be better than this. I better get out of here. It's negativity that leads you to go, and it's terrible, and I'm getting out of here.
I didn't say it was every situation. I say it's applicable to some.
I love that this is becoming a philosophy, like logic class.
We get somewhere with
where
it.
you're just you're like, I'm gonna just any argument, I'm gonna point the faults out in it.
Also, the stigmata, kind of negative, but it's a blessing from God.
Ooh,
next caller.
Well, sorry, I want.
No, I'm kidding. No, you're fine. Hold on one second, Mike.
Sorry, can I just one thing about the New England thing, because I just want to like one as a straight New Englander, like that's straight up. I relate to that, but I think it is where some of my positivity came from because I was like pushing back against that.
Yeah.
And so there's this musician out of Vermont, and he has this song called Homesick, and his name, I might be messing up his last name, but it's Noah Kahan. Kahan?
Kahan, yeah,
Kahan. Anyways, he's out of Vermont, and I love the song. It's Homesick. I love it so much. But one of the lyrics.
Can you tell us how to pronounce his name?
I can't. Yeah, he's the best. He's the best. I just don't know how to say his name. Yeah, Kahan. Anyways, he has this lyric, and I was singing it the other day, and I was like, and I thought it said, "I'm me because I'm from New England." And my girlfriend, like, very lately came up. I'd been singing it for days. She was like, you know, it's I'm mean because I'm from New England, right? Not I'm me because I'm from New England. And I think that was just this perfect way of how I didn't fit into where I grew up. Like I was just like, I'm me because I just
you are you.
Yeah. Misinterpreting your surroundings.
And she's saying that everyone is negative from where you are. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's actually right. So I agree with that guy's sentiment of coming from New England and being negative. That said, I spent 10 years on the West Coast and I loved it.
Yeah, and I think, and I'll go to Midwest on this one and be like, you know what? Like, yeah, things are kind of shitty. Well, what are you going to do? And I like that attitude. I appreciate that attitude. My dad was talking about,
I'm going to stop the snow?
You gonna move or shut the fuck up? Yeah, my dad was like laughing about how bad his job was. I'm like, at least you're laughing about it. I was like, well, if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. Like, that sums up that attitude. Like, it's regional. It's regional.
It is, certainly. Let's do one last caller, and then we'll do our plugs, and we'll get the fuck out of here.
What's up, guys? Char Mama and the Pasty Boys, long-time listener, and I'm calling again. Negativity. Without the bad, good can't be as good. People who are positive all the time that have no reason or perspective tend to be assholes later in life and don't really understand why people could possibly be negative. But you should process every emotion. And if something doesn't feel right to you, it's okay to hate on it a little bit. They
grew up in Detroit in the 70s and 80s.
What?
Have a good day, I guess, and meow meow.
Oh, I feel like they got mixed up with a ICP call or something.
Yeah, it's spliced into a future topic about insane clown posse.
But
I haven't.
people are real negative about those guys.
And that's why we're going to defend him on a future episode.
Yeah, and they're very positive.
And they're very positive.
They are very. I
Yeah.
did a podcast with one of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Shaggy Too Dope, makeup on, in his own home.
Good to know he walks around just wearing
He
it.
is who he says he is.
He's probably got it down. He's got the lighting right in the house.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. That was a good. That sums it up. The calls. I like when the calls give
us a little
get a better attitude than we do.
Yeah.
Right? At least me.
Because you and I are just butting heads like two mountain goats.
Listen. What do you want? Two dudes getting along on a podcast? Where's the charisma?
It's all about the friction.
Yeah.
Will
the
they or
spice?
won't they?
Yeah. Real
It's like moonlighting with Bruce Willis.
a moonlighting reference. Nice.
look at
Nobody understands that.
Look at you two coming together here at the end. But no, summing it up with like, feel the emotions. I think that was a very
I think
smart
like
thing
the
to say.
denial of it is like what is really one of the more toxic things about it.
If you're always high, the highs are going to get dull. And if you're always low, the lows are just going to be meh.
Yeah.
You're
Can't have
never going
pizza
to be
every day.
sadder
Stops
than a
being
child soldier. You're never going to be
And
happier.
I'm mean because I'm from New England.
Yeah.
You're never going to be sadder than a child soldier, and I'm mean because I'm from New England.
Yeah, I think we got there.
Yeah, I think we did.
Kind of got in there.
Isaac, tell them where they can find
It
you.
would be much
please.
more negative if you weren't here, by the way.
It truly would be.
Thank you so much for having me
We'd
on.
have done this
I
in the
hope I
dark.
didn't overly positive the vibes.
You were awesome.
No, man. I like that you lied about your science experiment.
I really did. The guilt, but that's a whole other episode.
It really is.
My name's Isaac Fitzgerald, and you can find me on Instagram. And I got a website, but the book's out. It's called Dirtbag Massachusetts. And what you need to know is I'm a big fan of these two. So if they come to your town, go see their comedy. They're the best.
You're promoting
Honored
us
to be
on
here.
our podcast.
Yeah.
That's not what you do.
Rainbow, baby,
You
right behind me.
The book's fantastic.
The book is fantastic. We both read it. Yeah.
And
First book I read this year.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I read it in Europe. So, yeah.
I
really keep dropping that Europe thing. Huh?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
It was a positive thing for me. And I don't like those fucking frogs in France.
and I hope you feel negative about it. What a good time I had.
I am a little jealous of both of you guys for feeling so alive on a Tuesday afternoon.
On that note.
Yeah.
Pick up Dirtbag Massachusetts. He's Isaac Fitzgerald. Kyle, where can they see you coming up?
We don't know when this comes out.
I think this is coming out next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can find him on the internet. This is how it always ends this way, and it doesn't have to.
I'll be at the McMinnville UFO Festival.
Oh yeah, you're real excited about that.
I am. I'm pretty excited.
That's going to be fun.
See, I'd go into that with skepticism, but if I went with Kyle,
Not scared. I'll go a healthy
no,
skepticism.
I would go with.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but if I went with you, I know I'd be in for a good time.
Those are my people.
Yeah. I'm Shane Torres. You can find me all over the internet. Shane Torres, Instagram, all that stuff. ShaneIsComedian.com. I'll be at Comedy Works this Wednesday through Saturday in downtown Denver. Please buy tickets. It's my first time there, and I would like there to be a second time.
Excellent club.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. Goodbye for meow.